Hello, and welcome to this episode of WBTV News. I'm Carly Walter.
And I'm Cameron Hay. Have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes of TV production? This program requires work. However, it's worth the time and effort to produce a newscast. Here's Andrew with more on the behind-the-scenes action.
TV production has unquestionably been the class to take among students in WBHS. However, TV production 2, also known as broadcast journalism, is a second extension of TV production. We took a look behind the scenes to see what broadcast journalism is all about.
TV2 is a pretty busy class. I mean, it's a fun class, and it's sort of a little different than your typical academic class where you're going to sit behind books and notes and all that good stuff. But, like I said, it's a very busy class. There's supposed to be a fairly fast pace to it. It is deadline-based, so students do get to a point where they start to get a little stressed out about meeting their deadline.
My least favorite part is the deadlines.
I hate how there's a lot of deadlines.
There's a lot of deadlines that you have to meet too.
My least favorite part of TV Pro 2 are the deadlines.
My least favorite part about TV Pro 2 is the deadlines, probably.
It would probably have to be the deadline because it's just, you only have 9 classes to make this video, and everyone has to really work together to make the deadline and make a nice video.
Basically, they're assigned a news piece after a brainstorming session within the class, and they work in groups of 3. There's one editor, one camera person, and one reporter. And together as a team, they work on their individual news piece, gathering background on the specific piece, and then sending out emails, making contacts with staff here at the school, as well as students, on the topic and giving them questions that they're going to be using in their interviews. They perform the interviews, they shoot B-roll, they do voiceovers. Basically, in the end, the editor puts together the piece, and between the 3 of them, hopefully a good story is told.
The freedom of TV production, too, seems to be a fan favorite of students.
My favorite part of TV Pro 2 is probably being able to make my own episodes, so I get to use my creativity and decide what I want to do rather than what someone else wants me to do.
My favorite part about TV Pro 2 is being able to create something out of nothing. So if you have an idea, just a very vague idea, you're able to put it all into one project.
My favorite part is probably, the whole thing, just because when I get older, I've always wanted to be in that field of TV production or editing or whatever, so I like the whole class in general.
My favorite part is probably having some freedom and going out and doing your own pieces and just being able to see a piece start from the beginning, from the planning, all the way until the end with the finished product.
My favorite part about TV Pro 2 is being able to run around with cameras and do quick shoots and just have fun with it.
Although TV2 is fun, it does come with a heavy workload.
TV1, some students find to be a little easier, a little more fun, and that's great. When you get into TV2, understand there's going to be a little more work to do, and the criteria for grading is a little stiffer. So you got to do work, or you could get that grade that you're not looking for in a very easy class for the most part.
Even though broadcast journalism seems like fun and games, be prepared to show some effort and be able to shoot, edit, and be comfortable on camera. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Andrew. It seems like broadcast journalism is a lot of fun, but it takes a lot of work.
Now that the weather is warming up and we are starting to see everyone's newest fashion trends, let's see if WB students can follow the dress code while still looking trendy. Here's Kristen with more.
Hey everyone, as the warm weather approaches, we begin to see everyone's new fashion trends in spring style. Now let's see if they abide by our school dress code and still look fashionable at the same time.
Not all students follow the dress code. Shorts are too short. Boys wearing tank tops, girls wearing strapless shirts and blouses that have less than 2 inches of space along the top.
I'm not one to wear beatas all the time, especially in school. I've already got caught for that.
I love wearing sleevelesses, show off the guns, but apparently some students have poor hygiene, so I am unable to wear sleevelesses now.
I can't wear anything cute.
Last week it was 80 and people were getting yelled at for wearing shorts and tank tops.
The dress code doesn't really apply to me or affect me because I don't wear bra straps as I don't wear a bra.
We asked Ms. Fontecchio and Mr. Bodwell how they would handle the dress code violations.
In general, I usually just talk to a student and ask them to put a shirt over that or call their parent to ask them to bring in new clothes. If someone continually challenges that, then we have to have the parents in and we talk about it.
If they're violating the dress code, then we'll usually ask them to change their clothing, or we have some shirts that they can put on. But usually they're very good about changing clothing or calling a parent to have something else brought in.
Hi, Mom. I just got in trouble for what I was wearing at school today. Apparently it's not up for the dress code. Can you bring me something more appropriate, like a turtleneck? Okay, thanks. Bye.
We asked some students if they knew anything in the dress code.
You have to have pass the finger rule.
I know that your straps have to be 2 inches thick and that your shorts need to go the length of your arm.
You can't wear really pretty shirts that have less than 2 fingers. So that takes out a good set of my wardrobe.
I just know it's really no tank tops, don't show like your full arm pretty much. I think that's it. And no, for girls, no short shorts.
We asked the students of WB what some of their spring fashion trends are.
My favorite spring fashion trends have to be floral and paisleys. Very bright colors for spring.
My spring fashion trends are sundresses, tank tops, and gladiator sandals.
My spring fashions are shorts and tank tops and some flip-flops.
I love to wear dresses.
A lot of guys are going to work boots these days.
I like to wear jeans and cute shirts and shorts.
As you can see, our school sure knows spring fashion. Hopefully you got some tips on how to look good for the spring. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kristen. It seems like the students of WB really know what they're talking about when it comes to fashion and how to abide by the dress code.
The school year is coming to a close, which means the juniors are getting amped up for senior year. However, with all the excitement comes concern as well. Here's Shannon with more.
Senior year is kind of a big deal and beholds many stresses and responsibilities. We spoke with juniors to figure out their main concerns for their last year of high school.
My question for senior year would be, how difficult is the college process and sending in all those applications?
I just don't understand the college admissions process. I feel like it's overwhelming.
Yeah, actually, I was wondering about applying for colleges because I don't really know how to go about doing that.
One thing I'm wondering about senior year is the senior project, because I know everyone's always talking about it, but I really have no idea what it is or what we're supposed to be doing to start getting ready for it.
Really more or less how the senior project's going to work, really, what kind of work is involved with that.
How difficult is the scholarship application process, and do you have any advice on which scholarships to apply for?
It's clear the juniors want answers about the college and scholarship application processes, as well as the senior project, so we tracked down the current seniors to help them out.
Best way to make sure is when the Common App comes out August 1st, you just should get on that in the summer and start doing it and stay up to date on all the deadlines for the colleges specifically and not slack off. It gets stressful.
The senior project process basically means you have to figure out what you're going to do before the year starts or at the beginning of the year. And then you got to make sure that you keep working on it throughout the year, even if it's just in little increments. And the advice I would give is to make sure that you know what you're doing at the beginning, so you don't need to rush everything at the end.
My advice for the senior project process is that you should do something that you enjoy doing and don't rely on being in a group. For example, I did a blog about Notre Dame football, and I already have mine done. I already did my interview for it, so I'm all set, whereas other people are trying to cram it in the last minute. And I enjoyed writing that, so it was easy.
The scholarship application process it's not really hard, it's just time consuming because each scholarship requires different information and a lot of information. It just all depends on each scholarship and the length, but some may be challenging and some may not be. And what scholarships to apply for? I mean, any scholarship really available because it's free money for college. I mean, colleges now are $60,000, so your parents need all the money they can get.
Some seniors were feeling extra generous and offered up their own personal advice.
My advice for the upcoming seniors is get college applications done as soon as possible, get scholarship applications done as soon as possible, and don't stop doing anything halfway through the school year because that'll come back to bite you.
Advice that I have for the upcoming seniors is don't let senioritis bite you in the butt right from the beginning. Ease your way into senior year before just going, oh, I'm a senior, who needs school, blah, blah, blah. 'Cause that's what I did, and I totally regret it.
Seniors, my advice would be to get your college apps done quickly and smoothly so there's no stress in that process early in the year. And then don't get senioritis. Don't slack off during the year, but still enjoy senior year.
Juniors, I hope the advice has helped you out. And don't worry, senior year is just as fun as it is serious. Well, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Shannon. It's nice to see the seniors taking time to help those following in their footsteps.
Hey, Cameron,
Yeah?
do you know what time it is?
What time?
Trivia time, but after these messages.
Hey, I heard you are a wild one. Hey, I heard you are a wild one. Ooh, if I took you home and be your woman, show me how you do. I wanna shut down the cloud.
Have you ever wondered what those doors that say darkroom or ticket booth mean? Or even what the school was like 40 years ago? Let's ask Maria to discover more about these mysterious rooms.
Hey guys, as you can see behind me, here at WBHS we have a door which is labeled as the darkroom. What is the darkroom and was it ever used? And woodshop down the hall, was that room ever in use? We went behind the scenes to uncover the mysteries behind these rooms and discover what WBHS used to be like and how these rooms were once used. We asked students and teachers if they were familiar with some of the old rooms in the school, such as the darkroom or the woodshop.
The dark room, yeah, I can't disclose that information, what goes on in there, but wait, the dark what?
I think the wood shop is janitorial thing that they probably build stuff in.
I heard there's a giant reptile creature that lives there, and I don't know if that's true.
I also heard the same thing. I heard they feast on freshmen and sophomores.
With no information about these rooms from the students, we reached out to the teachers who once experienced these rooms when they were in use, and what classes were offered.
We used to have upstairs a class in home economics, cooking and sewing, and we used to have down by the gym all kinds of mechanical classes and wood shop and metal shop, and none of those are taught anymore. I didn't teach any of those, but I did teach a class in theater arts, which we don't have anymore, where they would work on plays and stuff and put them on for other classes.
With Miss Kendrick giving us information about classes such as home ec and woodshop, we took a further look into these classes and what they actually entailed.
We had washing machines, we had sewing machines, we had a dishwasher. If I remember correctly, we had some furniture in here, and sinks, of course. And I mentioned stove and oven, etc. Which, of course, you don't see that this is now a science room. All that was removed.
Another former student, Leonard T. Hunt, who is now the West Bridgewater Fire Chief, graduated from West Bridgewater High in 1971 and has since been a resident in West Bridgewater.
We had the option. We took wood shop. I didn't take metal shop, but that was available. Home economics was not something that boys took back in those days. I mean, they may now, which is fine. My son is a fantastic cook, so I have to say. But back in those days, it was more, the girls took these courses and the guys took these courses.
Mr. Hunt was able to recall the use of the dark room. However, the ticket booth remains a mystery.
I remember the dark room being used when I was there, which is right there by the was it a chemistry lab? That was a chemistry lab when I was there too. And yeah, I remember them using that as a dark room. The ticket booth, I know they did use it originally. Originally it was built to sell tickets for basketball games and things like that. But I don't remember them using it for basketball games when I was there.
It seems that even though the courses in the interior of the building have changed, the main structure of the building has remained the same since the 1970s.
Well, I think probably the oldest thing that we have in the school is in the basement. We have an incinerator room with an incinerator in it that they used to burn the trash for the school on a daily basis.
Part of the school, this entire TV studio, used to be the town's public library. Because now the studio space was the open part of the library where a majority of your residents in West Bridgewater would come in to take out books, basically. The area upstairs above the studio, which is now really just storage for different classrooms, especially for books, that used to be the reference section.
Who would have ever guessed there are so many memories and stories behind the rooms no longer used at WBHS? These memories will be cherished despite the new building of a new school, and the mysteries of today are no longer unsolved. Back to you in the studio.
It turns out that these mystery rooms actually aren't mysteries at all, but are simply memories of former students of West Bridgewater High School.
Community service is a tradition for West Bridgewater High School seniors. Let's send it over to Josh Ruggles for more on community service hours.
We at war. We at war with terrorism, racism.
Thanks, guys. This is the time of year when seniors are preparing for their community service hours. As you may know, this is a graduation requirement, so we asked the teachers what exactly they have to do to complete these hours.
Seniors have to complete 20 hours of community service during their 1 week of community service activity.
The hour requirement is 20 hours. The other requirements are that you don't do it immediately with a family member like dad or a mom or a grandparent, although there are times in the history of the community service where that rule has been flexible.
We asked teachers what students can do to complete these hours.
I think it changes from year to year depending on what teachers or what community businesses in the community need help. For example, Mr. McMurray usually has some people help him out with the courtyard. But now this year, now that we know that there's a good chance there'll be a new school, there's no sense in working on a courtyard that's not going to exist in a couple of years.
Here, I'm diligently working at getting slots because Mr. McMurray and Mrs. Sylvain might not be able to provide the 20-25 slots that they've been able to provide with the brick project and in the senior courtyard that he's been doing. And that's primarily because our new school's going to bump that project. We don't know where the grounds are going to be. We don't want to damage anything, and frankly, that's got to be put on hold for a little while. So I've been diligently working lately to contact with the senior center and to expand the community service to real viable community service.
We asked students their plans and thoughts on community service hours.
I've got a few done already. I weeded the baseball field, but I think I'm working on a nursing home.
Any which way possible to help out this magnificent school.
Into working at a nursing home. I'm going to do anything they want there, clean up and everything.
As of now, I am not positive what I'm going to do for my community service hours because with the new school, Mr. McMurray is not getting anyone out there to put the bricks in the courtyard, so I was planning on doing that, but it's obviously not going to work out now.
Community service, I plan on doing something that's culinary related because I plan on going to a culinary school. And so I'm going to try to find something that can benefit my community and benefit myself as well.
For my community service hours, I think I'm going to see if I can do the mural in Mr. Bodwell's office, even though the school's going to get torn down in like a year.
It's clear that community service is a lot of work, but pays off in the end. It builds character and gives a helping hand to your community. Without it, senior year would not be the same. Back to the studio, guys.
God, show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
Thanks, Josh. It is obviously clear that community service is a huge help to the school and our community.
Personal hygiene is necessary for all people to be healthy and happy in a close environment such as a school. Eric Noonan investigated the issue of personal hygiene here at WBHS.
Thank you. Personal hygiene is not only important for your health and comfort, but for the comfort and well-being of those around you. We investigated the importance of personal hygiene at WBHS, as well as some tips for good hygiene. Is personal hygiene an issue at WBHS?
For some kids it is. Some kids, so let's say the younger kids, don't know what soap is exactly just yet. And the older kids, they pretty much know, hygiene isn't really an issue.
Well, they should always focus on personal hygiene, but when they get to middle school, it should be more their responsibility than their parents to focus on their hygiene.
Well, with jobs coming up and first impressions on the rise, I think it's important to smell good and look clean because nobody wants to work with someone who's dirty and grimy and smells bad. It's gross, it's repulsing, and especially with the warm weather coming up and sicknesses starting to come up, it's a bad idea to just not care about it.
I think that the kids in the high school have a good sense of personal hygiene, and I think they do a good job taking care of themselves.
People just don't like to shower, apparently. So it's not an issue, but some kids are lacking in it.
We asked students and teachers who they believe are the best smelling and the worst smelling grades in the school.
Definitely best smellers, I'd have to say seniors, because I'm rocking that CK cologne. And, to die for. I'm sure everybody else is wearing some good stuff too, because we're older, more mature. We know our stuff.
I'd probably say the seniors, they always smell good, I guess. And then I think the freshmen, middle school, they tend to smell. So that's where I'm going to stick with my smelliest area, younger kids.
A lot of seniors and juniors that I teach or have traditionally taught the past few years, mostly at that point, I think their hygiene habits are pretty good. They care about appearance, they care about looks, so their hair is done, their clothing is clean, they come in dressed, they're wearing the appropriate accoutrements as far as the deodorants are concerned and perfumes. So I think that it's something that progresses and that people learn, young people learn as they go on and they go through their health class and they study the issue of personal hygiene.
I feel that, not to focus on the 7th or 8th graders, but, deodorant maybe should be given out throughout the school, to different areas. And I also feel like Febreze, spray things should be put out through upstairs just to make, the school smell lemony fresh, while we're going to have all the great construction here in a couple of years.
We asked students and teachers when people start to focus on personal hygiene, as well as some hygiene tips they want to give out.
Certain kids need to shower more. They should brush their teeth more often, maybe wash their face in the morning. That's usually a good idea.
Some personal hygiene tips I would give out is definitely to wear deodorant, especially to the middle schoolers. Not single them out or anything, but I don't even think they know what deodorant is if you go through these hallways. And girls and guys, Bath & Body Works is always an option.
Bathing, showering with soap every day. Well, using soap and water every day, definitely, to get all the personal private areas, shall we say, they need to be done every day with soap and water. Some people may choose not to shower every day. I myself prefer that method, but soap and water every day on the personal private parts.
My personal hygiene, routine. I wake up in the morning, take a shower. Got to use that shampoo that my mom buys because it's girly, smells good. Then use some conditioner, smells good. While the conditioner's in my hair, put some soap on a face cloth. Usually Dove, my favorite. Irish Springs. Mom doesn't like to buy it because it's kind of guyish, but no sweat. Rub myself nice, and rinse off, but rinse off the conditioner at the same time because now it's been soaking up for a little while and silky smooth. Then, usually some face wash, try to get rid of that acne, puberty, it's not good. But, brush my teeth right after, throw on some deodorant, some cologne, good to go.
Well, now all you viewers are experts on personal hygiene and can pass on some tips to younger students at WBHS. I'm Eric Noonan, signing off for WBTV. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Eric. Now we all know the importance of personal hygiene, and we're given some great hygiene tips to share with others who need it.
Hey, Carly, what did you think about the weather this year?
I think that global warming is starting to make the air an oven.
We sent Jacob Thomas out into the field to discover what global warming is.
Global warming is an issue that impacts everybody's lives, but does everybody really know what it is? We went to the science department head, Mr. McMurray, to find out just what exactly global warming is.
Global warming is I suppose it's the warming of the planet due to the atmosphere trapping heat from the sun And global warming is a good thing in a lot of ways because it's what allows the planet to have these temperature extremes that allow us to hang out.
We asked students at West Bridgewater High School what global warming is.
I'm not sure.
Well, global warming is the heat. I don't know what that is, actually.
Global warming is like the
Global warming is like the earth getting hot from like stuff.
We asked whether people actually believe in global warming.
I do believe in global warming. I believe that everything that happens in our atmosphere obviously is going to impact our temperature and the weather, so.
I believe in global warming because of all the pollution and the fact that the weather's getting warmer all around.
Yeah, I guess I believe in global warming because the earth is like clearly changing, you can tell.
We asked students if they felt global warming had an impact on this past winter.
I think weather is kind of unpredictable, and it could have been a factor in the warm weather this year, but not entirely.
I do believe that global warming was a factor of this year's winter. Obviously, if the planet's heating up overall, it's going to be a lot warmer. Like, we didn't have as much snow as we usually do. I mean, our snowfall was, in October?
No, I just think New England is a very picky place to live, and the weather likes to change.
What are some of the things we do that factor into global warming?
Driving to school would be a big one. Cranking your heat in the winter is another one. Basically, anytime you're using electricity, you're probably releasing greenhouse gases, unless you get your electricity from solar or wind or something like that.
Anytime there's more greenhouse gases put out, that definitely will contribute to global warming and the increase of temperatures throughout the world. When we burn fossil fuels, that puts out a lot of greenhouse gases. When we use electricity, oftentimes electricity is powered by the burning of greenhouse gases. So by using electricity and fossil fuels, that's our biggest contributions to that.
What can you do to minimize your impact on global warming?
To minimize my impact on global warming, I could watch less TV and use less electricity.
I could probably stop using hairspray. Definitely.
Start setting up recycling groups and stuff like that.
Here are some things you can do to help aid the environment and minimize global warming factors.
Probably the most important thing would be to switch our economy from a fossil fuel-based one to one that doesn't use fossil fuels, alternative energy sources, solar, wind, water, things like that.
Reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, for example, carpooling, driving less, reducing electricity, also just recycling. A lot of times our garbage goes to landfills, and if the landfills are burned, which often they are, that again contributes to greenhouse gases.
A common misconception is that the ozone layer causes global warming. Does it actually?
No. The ozone layer blocks UV light. The ozone layer is not something that is causing global warming. Now, that said, what makes this confusing is ozone unto itself is a greenhouse gas. So that means that ozone does help trap heat. However, the ozone layer is not something that is insulating the planet and causing or directly related to global warming.
The environment is being impacted every day. Now you know what is happening because of global warming and how to help the environment rather than hurt it. Back to you guys in the studio.
Wow, that was some useful information. Maybe students can now understand why global warming is so important. Thanks, Jacob.
Now students also know ways to help the environment too. Well, that just about does it here at WBTV News for this episode. Hope to see you next time.
Pumping music, I might lose it. Glass to the roof, how we lose it. I don't care tonight, she don't care. We like almost there, the right vibe. Ready to get live, ain't no surprise. Take me so high, jumping those dives, surfing the crowd. Ooh, said I gotta be the man, I'm the head of my band. Mic check 1, 2. Shut them down in the club with a Playboy.